We play and call it work.
Hello and welcome to this week's Sit and Talk. Next week we Matthew, so we want to address your questions in this video on MiniWarGaming.com for comments, questions from Matthew for next week. But if you're new to Sit and Talk, I'm going to sit here for about 30 minutes or so and read off some of the questions and give you my answers and opinions. And then I'll go in the vault and do hopefully another 30 minutes, depending how fast I get through all these things. So there will possibly be an hour worth today. I don't know, and Chris is now just leaving the room. You're done with this now already? Yeah, he's got work to do. So I'm just going to get right into the questions and let's get at it. So Teldonator says, at Steve O, and I haven't previewed these questions yet. I've been very, very busy. So this is going to hit me off. I'm not prepared. I have no jokes or stories prepared. Not that I ever do. That's Steve. Hello, Mr. the Mountain, sir. As a person of epic proportions, what do you usually eat for breakfast? Happy Wargaming. You know what? I'm actually not a breakfast eater. I wake up, I shower, and I drive into work. I wake up about an hour and a half after I get here on my fourth cup of coffee. I drink a lot of caffeine, and then like I can even skip, believe it or not, as a very large man, I can even skip lunch, no problem. I'm a late evening eater. I can go all day without eating, and then eat all evening. But yeah, no, I very rarely eat breakfast. I know it's not good for you. But I got no more than that. I very rarely eat breakfast. Just coffee. The Danish Viking Alex. No, actually, then again, no. When we're going out for breakfast, obviously on the weekends, it's pancakes and a lot of them. The Danish Viking Alex says, at Steve, hey Steve, thank you for the Path to Glory hobby series. I really enjoyed watching that. More of that in the future, please. Yeah, I love this. So much fun. The new Dark Angel Codex just came out on pre-order. If you have seen it, what do you like about it? If you haven't seen it, what would you like to see in the Codex? Happy Wargaming, Merry Christmas. So yeah, obviously this is written a while ago. I've done my Dark Angels Codex review. You can check it out on the main page. It's still on YouTube somewhere. Ultimately, it's not as exciting as I would have liked it to be. I'm not calling it a weak codex. It's definitely not a power codex, but it can definitely, it will win games. I just find it overall just a little bit boring for my taste. I don't know why. I'm going to actually do in the future a follow-up review after I've played even more games. I know we always talked about doing these things, but I think people would really enjoy follow-up reviews. Because normally when we do reviews now, we play like 3 to 4, maybe 5 games before we do our reviews. And that's really not enough to get a good overall understanding of the Codex. So I want to try a bunch more games and come back at it again and readdress the issues I had with it and see how some opinions have changed of mine. Like I said Raven Wing was pretty good. They were okay in the Codex, and I think I think I would use Jank more than I said I would in the actual review. I think it's even it's a little more useful than I originally reviewed it. Deathwing, I think my opinion is getting lower and lower. I just think they're just not viable. And the Green Wing, again, I want to play a bunch more games and get back into a repeat review. Afterthoughts, play more games because I gotta find the Dark Angels niche. Where do they fit in now in 8th edition? I apologize, that was really gross. Okay, so Bildrat, Steve, I don't like when you guys get easy questions. You should have to work for it. Okay, I'm not prepared for this. What is the least enjoyable movie that you've seen more than once? That is hilarious. Sorry, my chair is really squeaky. Chris and I were just talking about movies. What is the least enjoyable movie I've seen more than once? Oh, I know. Sex and the City. Okay. So I've seen someone, and I had to go see it, and then I had to go again. I know I'm not gonna get into the whole story. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters. Oh my God, it was so bad. Okay. Supreme Bravado at Steve. Can you please get Matt to play a game of fantasy with you? We know you could. We know we could bother him and all, but we also know that he can never say no to your puppy dog eyes. Yeah, no, he totally can. He tells me no all the time. Yeah, no, getting him to that'll be impossible. The guy is too busy. Like we actually, Matthew and I had a game today booked to play 40K together. And we're not doing it. I'm sitting here doing this. He's off working on some audio for the Dark Heresy upcoming campaign. What's it called? Blue Collar Heresy. Our Dark Heresy role playing campaign. Yeah, he's working on some stuff with that right now. He's busy with that. Every time we try to do something outside of a campaign, usually things get in the way. It's too hard. It's too hard to get Matthew in. I will ask one time because I know it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So sorry, dude. Sticky Blue Toffee. I like your name. Hi, Steve. By the time you get this, Chapter Proof would have been out nearly 2 weeks. Not seen any mention of it by MWG. No games using the new missions. No reviews or anything. I'm pretty sure the time I'm reading these questions, we've had some stuff go out. And if we haven't, very, very soon. I'm not positive we have or not. Do you know when MiniWarGaming are going to start putting out some of the content using Chapter Approved? You want in. No. Have you put anything with Chapter Approved that's gone out yet? Cork just walked in the room.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think if anything with Chapter Proof has gone out yet.
I don't remember.
I don't know. So it's a little embarrassing.
We film a lot.
We film a lot. And it's hard to keep track of, like, it's very, very common to read a comment in a battle report and they're referencing something you said and you have no idea what it was because we filmed that maybe even just a week ago, but we filmed like 10 games since then. So it's I can't remember what goes out when. It's a bad thing to say, but we're artists. Can I find something?
I'm looking for this one.
We're no, it's not in here. I don't think it's in here. We are people. See, I can't even maintain my mental focus throughout this sentence, let alone what.
And like that, he's forgot what he was talking about.
Wow. Yeah, Chapter Approved. I don't know. I don't know. Soon, if it hasn't already, is the answer to that. A written Saturday by the time we get the okay.
Like a lot of the tournament stuff I did was pre-Chapter Approved, but it had a lot of the same things. Like the whoever deploys first gets a +1, not goes first. But that was because I was doing the tournament.
Yeah, that thing there, I can. That change is meaningless in my opinion. It's the same chance they're going first.
Show your work. Show the math.
No, I'm not doing that again. Can you do me a favor, Quirk? I thought I grabbed my phone off the side desk next to Matthew.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me to fill that.
No, there's already one full. Can you bring it to me? I don't want to get up. You're so kind. Don't you dare. It's on the side desk in my studio. Ice King Nexion. Steve, based on how well getting command points back in a 5+ did for your Death Watch, do you think you'll be using it a lot for the Dark Angels New Warlord trait? Also, out of the new Dark Angels Codex, what would be your preferred wing to use? Ravewing, Deathwing, Greenwing. Thanks for reading For the Lion. So yeah, dude, if I had the ability to turn the camera around right now, don't you, dude, they probably heard that. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I've played some games. I almost had a sweet picture for you guys. I've played some games with the Warlord trait, and I've had a game where I got plenty of command points back. I've had a game where I got none back. I think it's a solid Warlord trait. I don't think it's an auto-include. Sweet tattoo, bro. I really like, even though I don't like combat, I like the Warlord trait where you get to reroll your charges if you want to bring Deathwing. There's one more that I really enjoyed, or really think is pretty good. So 5+ get your command points back. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it's the ignore damage on a 5+ if you don't move. So basically, I think for the most part for me, I'm either going to use Brilliant Strategist or Master of Maneuver, I believe it's called, where you get to reroll your charges every time. It's not auto include, but it's a pretty solid warlord trait. Just using it plenty. What's my preferred wing? Raven Wing. It is playable. Not that Green Wing isn't. I think Green Wing is more than playable. I just think they're trying to pigeonhole you into a static, not moving army, and that's not really my thing, especially when you're wearing power armor. Blassin. Hi, Steve. When are we going to see the next eating challenge with you, Dave, and company? Okay. Eating challenges in the way you've seen them previously, I can't say. But I know when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go prepare to record something else, something along that vein. So it's reasonable to see something this year. I would say probably this year, if not very, very early January. We'll try to get it out this year. Can't find it, eh?
Yeah, I have the digital copy.
Have you looked in my cabinet where I keep my models up top? Yeah, so I'm going to be recording something soon, today. Not in the same style as our food challenges, but in the same idea, but it'll include everybody. I'll give you some, you know what? It's coming. So see ya. At Steve, what is Christmas like at MiniWarGaming? Does the company do anything? Does anyone get really into it? Does anyone have unusual traditions? Are you ever going to repeat the eggnog challenge? Also, do you have any New Year's resolutions planned? Since this might be the last sit and talk before Christmas, Merry Christmas. I don't think it is. I'm sure there's going to be at least one more. Oh, there's a lot there. So, what's like at Christmas here? No different, to be honest with you. Does the company do anything? We give each other stuff. We don't have a Christmas party per se, mostly because, for the most part, this staff spends way too much time together. We spend way too much time at the pub up the street. We go there quite regularly, so that's our staff party. Yeah, no, it's I had no more thoughts on this right now. Does anyone get really into it? No, not really. Does anyone have any unusual traditions? Okay, so what my thought just was there's probably not a big staff party because Matt and Dave don't want to bring their kids around to all of us. That's what went through my mind. We are a rowdy bunch. Any unusual traditions? No, not really. Not really. Do you ever I've been repeat the eggnog challenge? Probably not. That one was actually it was enjoyable for the first half. The back half was not so enjoyable. Any New Year's resolutions planned? Oddly enough, I almost completed my last year's New Year's resolution. I think most of us never complete our resolutions, but mine last year was. What's up? You're fine. Mine last year was to complete every model painted in my closet that I had. So everything, I wasn't going to buy more miniatures until I painted everything in my closet. I was going to get everything done this year. Now, I had bought some more things this year, mostly because I needed them for either a campaign or for a new show, or I was going to a tournament or something and I needed a couple extra little things. So I did buy things throughout this year. I'm not going to say I didn't buy anything. That part of my resolution didn't go through. But I had hundreds of miniatures in my closet that need to be painted this year, and I am so close to finishing that, getting everything painted this year. I have literally, I've counted because they're almost all assembled. I have for the 55 or 65, I can't remember the number, power armor Dark Angels for Horse Heresy, and 20 Terminators left. Oh no, sorry, I got some more Dark Age. 4 Dark Age miniatures sitting here, but I've almost completed everything. I've almost completed my New Year's resolution from last year, so I'm hoping I find a way to get them done by the end of the year. What's the date today? The time I'm recording this is the 18th for me, so means I got like 12 days-ish to get them all done. I can do it. I'm just really busy this month, so I'm hoping to do it. I'm hoping not to go into January, and if so, my New Year's resolution in January would be probably hobby-related. Maybe I'd probably try to get myself I'd probably do something like complete a whole orc army before the end of the year for 40K. But I haven't really put much thought into it yet, because I want to complete this year's resolution first, which I'm getting really tight on time with. Chosen One says, Steve, it being near Christmas, what's your favorite cookie type? Dude, I'm a fat guy. I love all cookies. All cookies. But peanut butter. Early Merry Christmas, the Chosen One. No, it's not long of a question. I usually ask, I'm really tired and just want a cookie. Sorry. Dude, I fully understand. Serpent One, that's Steve. When will you let your Iron Warriors actually use the rules being close to DM Prince rerolling ones? So, for a big bunch of battle reports, so DM Prince and Chaos Space Marines have this special rule. Heretic Astartes and demons with the same mark as a demon reroll ones. For the longest time, I thought that was only, I always had the mark of Slanesh on my DM Prince. I always thought it was only demons with a mark of Slanesh, or Slanesh demons, I should say, rerolled ones. I didn't realize it was Heretic Astartes as well. I had a bunch of battle reports go up. A lot, actually, with me not realizing that my guys could reroll ones within 6 of my demon prints. I've lost guys to plasma, and it's a little embarrassing. I've never addressed it in the comments, and I don't plan on addressing it any further right now. Oops. Really like the Path to Glory, very inspiring. Thank you. Believe it or not, Path to Glory took a lot of work. With a lot of work on this side of the camera, or the other side of the camera. But it was a lot of fun. I so enjoyed the Path to Glory. I also know that a lot of the armies, both MiniWarGaming ones and guest forces, include unbased models or are completely unbased. Whoa, sir. Erroneous. I don't think any MiniWarGaming armies have unbased. Oh, there's some orcs that aren't based. Okay. All right, you're right. I take it back. You were right. We have some orcs that are not based. I find this a bit of a letdown. Your thoughts? Yeah, I agree. I only play with painted miniatures, and painted means base is done. But since you said in the Path to Glory that you hate basing, sorry, you have a bunch of symbols in your sentence. Your thoughts, especially since you said that you hate basing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of basing miniatures, but it is necessary. I'm trying to give you some examples right now. I got nothing readily available. So what I do before I do a new army or a new unit is I always finish the base first. So the first thing I do for a new unit is completely finish the base. I have that independent. Actually, I have a bit of an example here. If I can get my hands on it. Okay, so base, I keep them separate. You can't really see. Okay, well, it's sprayed black. I do my bases first, independent of the miniature. I paint my miniatures on corks, like wine corks, with pins just put in the foot somewhere. And I paint them like that. And when they're done, I put them on the base. I find it very tedious to have the model glued to the base and then trying to base around the feet. Because then you get like the wash or the mud or whatever you're doing on the foot, and it looks wrong. So yeah, I hate basing in that regard. So I always finish my bases first, separate of the unit, paint the unit separately on a cork, and then attach it to the base. I think I showed that in the Path to Glory itself, actually. But that's for every army, every miniature I do. Kerr Burglar Steve, dice are my enemy. I roll so bad that I've become a meme at the local store. Your people do not seem to have this problem. Oh, sorry, other people. My question is this: there's a player at the local store who rolls suspiciously amount of 6. How do you tell that? How do you tell a player that sure I would like a game, only if you shove your dice up? Okay, I can't finish that sentence. So I believe any person I've ever played against, or a great majority of them, has said I'm the worst roller you've ever met. Everybody says that. Everybody thinks they roll a bunch of ones. Hey, we all roll good or bad. But I mean, honestly, if you think you're the only one who rolls nothing or close to, how'd you word it? You call yourself a meme at your store. Well, you know what? Embrace it. If you become the meme at the store, then embrace it. Just have fun with it, and what are you gonna do? James Walsh, hey Steve, how much do you celebrate Christmas and why do you bully Quirk so much? Happy Wargaming, Merry Christmas. I bully Quirk because he deserves it. Quirk is very much an antagonist. He actually likes the negative attention. Be very, very honest with you. Not a big Christmas guy. My family doesn't celebrate it. I got nothing against it. It's not big in my family. Like my sisters do, but no, I'm not a very big Christmas guy. I can't pronounce her name. At Steve, what up, Steve? My name is Luther Kroger. I am an activist and fallen enthusiast. Oh, sorry. I'm an active and fallen enthusiast. I think you put those orders. Okay. Over the past 2 weeks, I have been in a state of deep despair in hearing the news that Dark Angels are still trying to outlaw Fallen and the Emperor of Mankind's domain. I'm here determined to stop this future atrocity. You wrote atrocity. My first introduction to the Fallen came when the captain of my squad and water polo team. I don't know if any of this is true. Boomer Kingsley asked me to shotgun a tall can of Loyalist Dark Angels in front of the whole squad. And you know what? I think I'm going to stop reading this question. In front of the whole squad. Yeah, I don't know, dude, moving on. Sure Grill at Steve. Hi, Steve. Had a quick question, please. On the Path to Glory, when you show the wet blending on the sword, I can see you grab a brush to do the orange and grab a new brush to do the red and then keep going back. I was wondering if you are reapplying the orange to the brush before using it again, and the same with the red, or leaving the blended paint on the brushes. Thanks, and loving the content on both your and MiniWarGaming's. Keep up the awesome work. So actually, for the most part, each brush I don't reapply paint to. I believe at one point during that one, that particular clip, I did, but I say when I do and why I did so. But sometimes you do have to add more paint. Especially if when you're doing it, if it's been taking a little bit longer than you expected and the paint has dried. It usually does help to mix mix in a healthy amount of what's it called? Dry retarder. Yeah, it slows down the drying of the paint. It helps you not have to add more paint to the brush. But honestly, on MiniWarGaming.com, there are wet blending techniques in the vault done by Chris that can explain them in far more detail, far better than I showed you guys, with a few extra little details or techniques you can add to the mix. But yeah, for the most part, I try not to add more paint. Oh, buddy, your name is Sixth Sick Sheik's Sixth Sheep 6. I can't say it one time fast. At Steve, what do you consider to be a cocked die? I feel like different content producers have vastly different thoughts on this. Yeah, no, I know we do. And sometimes their own cocks differently than their guest. I swear. Okay, so for me, if the majority, I think Dave uses a method where if he puts it on top, if it slides off, it's cocked. For me, whatever the majority facing is, consistently, no matter what, like whether it's mine or my opponent's, I call it immediately on camera. I think you see how I do that. Yeah, there's usually a majority facing. Now, sometimes there's a rare occasion, but it does happen where die is truly cocked in a way where there's no majority facing. Those ones I re-roll. But I don't buy into that. The die has to be flat, just majority facing. But yeah, I know every one of us probably has their own way. I can't speak for everybody else on how they do or why they do, which ways they prefer. But for me, it's just majority facing. It stops the unnecessary rerolls. We can slow things down by picking up dice that are slightly cocked and re-roll them again. I want to get back to the game. And your name is terrible, and you need to change it because I can't say it. Oh, Malin again. That's Steve. Why is there, I'm going to answer your question without reading your question. There's not, and what are you talking about? Another one from the same person. Ever play Warmaster? If so, did you enjoy it? Ever consider having it on older World Wars if someone could provide multiple armies? I never played Warmaster. I don't know how to play Warmaster. I have an idea. But the main reason why I can say with relative certainty we probably never would is because we don't have the armies and they are far too rare to find. Yeah, no, I don't think finding Warmaster armies is reasonable. And that is all for the sit and talk right now here on YouTube. Now there's going to be another. I'll finish the remaining questions. Probably not going to be a full 30 minutes, but there'll be some time in the next video on YouTube. Now, remember, next week is Matthew who'll be doing the questions. So make sure you leave the questions from Matthew on this video on MiniWarGaming.com. Not on YouTube, though I think the YouTube comments are disabled. I'm pretty sure they are actually. So you can only leave comments on MiniWarGaming for Matthew next week. And thank you for watching, and happy wargaming.